In the yesterday class, we have done the abstraction. Abstraction is the process by which we hide the information, the programming information from the user as a developer. It is a core concept of OOPS, which is known as object-oriented programming. In the real world scenario, we have to use whenever we are doing some coding or respecting making some application or website, then we have to do these object-oriented programming so that user has no issue with the application or the website. So by using this abstraction method, we can create the class and object in a particular program. After that, we have learned what is generator, and on the abstraction, we have done two or three programming question. Yeah, over here I have using the abstract method from the this is the library, and I have import from the ABC library. This is a module. Creating a class shape and then define the init function in it. Then shape type, which type of shape we are using in the future of that particular programming. And using this abstract method, whenever we are doing some abstraction in a particular Python program, then we have to do some abstract thing. So here I have used the abstract method, and in this programming, we are calculating the area and the perimeter of a particular shape, which we are defining in the program after. So first we have defined the rectangle, which is a shape, and in the rectangle class, we have inherit the class of shape. So shape is my parent class and rectangle is my child class. After that, we have defined the init function. In that, we define the length and breadth for calculating the area and perimeter of a rectangle. After that, I have created the another class, which is a shape, the circle. And in that, I have inherited the shape class. After that, the radius, taken the radius from the user and calculating the area and the perimeter. Or we can say this as a circumference. So we have calculated it. After that, I have created an object of a rectangle, object rectangle using rectangle class and passing the length and breadth and calculating the area and perimeter of that. After C dot over here, I have created a object of a circle class as C, then calculating the area and circumference or perimeter of the circle. So I'm getting the answer like this. What's happening is circumference. Circle object has nowhere to. Okay. Yes. Okay, so after calculating it, we get the values like 13.80, 1384 as the area of circle, radius is my 21, and length and breadth defining the 10 and 27, then getting the area as 270 and 74 as a perimeter of that particular area. After that, we have learned what is generator. Generator is used in a Python for generating some values in the Python programming. Generally, what is the difference between a function or a generator? In the generator, we have to use the yield function, and in the functions where we have to define a function, then we are using the return something. In the generator, we have to yield something, yield or the next. We can call the next function also in the generator. So it will give me the next value, or we are iterating through a loop. So first we have learned what is generator and what is the difference between the yield and the return. If we are calling the yield function again and again, it returns a different value. It gives our output as a different value. But whenever we call the return in a function, it will print the same value or the same variable. So generator function can have only one yield statement, or generally the function can be used uh, multiple return function also. Yield statement can be done multiple times. However, the generator can be used only once to yield values. Generally, the meaning of the yield is like creating something new. So in the generator, we are creating a new value for the user or for the programming language. These has two links. One is for the Google Colab. Second one is for the PPT. If you are going to click over here in the second part, it is the link of the presentation. Thank you, Gola and Jolu Lathasri, for sharing the link. So we have learned in the yield and return function in the yesterday class. Now the lambda function. Lambda function is generally the Python programming in which it is just like a shorthand function. We have to, if we want to write a function in a single line, we can create it using the lambda function. Just it is the simple execution method. You have to just write a lambda, then a variable name. After that, you can use that variable in your programming to write a statement, conditional statement, and after that you can get your answers. Like over here, I have used this calculator as an object and defining a lambda function by using this num value. Whenever we are calling this calculator and passing some values, it is treated as the num value. And after that, we are checking if my number is divisible by 2, then it is the even number. If my number is not divisible by 2, it is odd number. And one more thing, you don't have to use the indentation or take care of the brackets and a colon in the conditional statement of the lambda function. You have just to write a statement, what you are printing, then a conditional statement just by giving a space to them. And you have to, if I'm running this function, it will calculate 20 is my even, 5 and 17 are my odd number. Is it clear? Whomsoever is joining the class late, please be on the time. Your class timing is 5:30. Okay, so we are using the lambda function just like a shorthand. Now the Python iterator. We can use the for loop for the iteration, but if we don't want to use the for loop or if we want to create the iterator of iterating object from the scratch, we can use this iterator function. It will give you the output as a increasing value or the decreasing value of a particular number. For example, here I have created a iterator by using the class. There I have used the my number as my class, then define the iter function. In the class and object, you have to define the init function. Over here, I have defined the iter function. In the iter function, I have defined the e value as 20, then return the self. It will return the self. After that, it will execute in this. If my self dot e value is greater than is equals to 0, then it will assign to X, and self dot A is decrementing every time whenever I am calling it again and again. So at which condition it will stop the iteration? When my A value is less than or is equals to 0. At that point, it will stop the iteration. In this programming, my number will be printed in the decreasing order, just like 20, 19, like that. So you have to print like 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. So this is the using of iterator. Over here, I have also used the iterator. I have created the my string banana and then iterating through that. After that, I have created a L in which I have put the range 100. So it will contain the item from 0 to 100. We can use the next also. So over here, I have used the next function. So it will print the next to next value. For example, in this, I have the 0, but it will print the 1 value. When it is 1, it will print the 3 value. So it will print like that in the iteration or a iterator functions. Now we have to go through the today's topic, the errors. What is the errors in the Python? Sometimes when we write the code, it will generate some errors. Generally, the error is uh, by if the my if my code is getting error, then it is not be executed by the interpreter. So for that, we have to remove the error, or we have to give the some different things for this error. So some of its error, generally the Python has two type of error. First is syntax error, and second is exceptions. In the exceptions, we have to do something with that exception, and we can handle this exception, which is known as exceptional handling in the Python. So for syntax error, we are going to see the program over here. For example, if I am assigning a is equals to int, I'm just saying you something. For example, over here, this is my invalid syntax. Okay, so this is my syntax error. Why this is syntax error? Can anyone tell me why it is a syntax error? I have initialized the amount variable 2000, then check that you are eligible to purchase GSA self-placed or not. Why it is invalid syntax? Yeah, Asif Sheikh, you are right. Because we didn't place the colon after the if. So it will give me the syntax error. Okay. If I am giving like this, then tab, now this doesn't give me any error. Okay. Why? Because my amount is greater than 10. This amount, my amount is 10,000 and 10,000 is greater than 2,999. So I am eligible for purchasing the DSS self-place code. Why it is giving me the syntax error? Because we didn't have use over here as colon. In the Python interpreter, the if condition or the conditional statement is given by this colon. So for that, you are getting the syntax error. Some are more in that um, syntax, as the name suggests, this error is caused by wrong syntax in the code. It leads to the termination of the programming. Whenever we get the syntax error in the program, the interpreter of the Python programming is not going to execute the whole code. It will give you the error at that particular time. If I'm not placing the colon over here and I'm running it again, it will give me the invalid syntax. Or this is my syntax error. Okay. So it will stop the program at this point and doesn't execute the print statement. And the second type of error is exceptional exceptions error. In the exceptions error, we have five or six type of errors. First is input output error. If we are not giving the input or output, if the file cannot be opened, it will give you the IO error. Keyboard interrupt. Generally, if I am, for example, over here, if I am running a code, generally the keyboard input error is getting when your cell, this is known as Python cell, when your cell is running and you are pressing it by the keyboard, just like your cell is completely running and you are don't giving any value to them or interrupting by the user. So this is known as the keyboard input error. Now the value error. When built-in function receive a wrong argument, for example, I have assigned a value like int a is equals to int, then I have assigned the a is equals to string. So it will give me the value error. EOF error is just like when we are working on the file system. In the Python, when we are working on the file system and we are writing something, but my file line is not reading the whole thing. So it will give me the EOF error. Now, what is the import error? It is unable to find the module. For example, over here, if I am importing the module, like if I am using the import and giving some name, for example, GA, like this. So it will give me the error. Okay, module not found error. It will give me the module not found error. Sometimes it will give you the module import error also when the module not or the module not found error is the same thing. So my FGDSRT module is not found by it. Okay, so now some exception handling, exceptions error versus index error. When the wrong index of a list is retrieved. For example, if I am assigning the list over here, if I am assigning L is on my list 1, comma 2. If I'm assigning L is equals to this and I have also Python interpreter that print L 8. So it will give me the error. And this is the index error. Why? Because my eighth index is not present over there. So it is the index error. Guys, am I audible to you now? I think I am audible. Okay. Now, the second thing is assertion error. It occurs when the assert statement fails. Okay. Now, the third is attribute error. It occurs when an attribute assignment is failed. For example, when you are giving some attribute to a function and you are giving the wrong attribute to them, it will give you the attribute error. Import error, when the import module is not found. Key error, just like when if some keys are not found in the dictionary. For example, if I have defined the dictionary in the above program. For example, in this I have declared the brand as a key. Okay. If I am calling the engine function in that, if I am calling the, for example, if I want to print print car engine. Okay, so it will give you the name error. Why? Because the engine name is not defined in the key. Or by using the get value, I have told you earlier, by using the get value, you can get the access of the. So over here, if I'm using the get keyword, car dot get car dot get. So this is the name error. It occurs when the variable is not defined. Name error is occurred when the variable is not defined. So I didn't define any variable engine over here in the dictionary of car. So it will give me the name error. Now the second last error is memory error. It occurs when a program runs out of a memory. For example, you are running a while loop, and in the while condition, you have put a conditional like that it goes to the infinity. So in that case, you get the memory error when the program runs out of the memory. For example, your program is taking tons of the GB of data. It is possible when you are writing a code in a while condition or the uh, and the type error. It occurs when a function operation are applied in an incorrect type. Generally, type error is getting when, for example, if I'm okay. Over here, I have getting the name error. Why? Because I didn't assign the A value to the B because my B value is not defined above in the program. Over here, if I am assigning the A value to 1 and the B value to some string like some, and in the C value, I'm going to add this. Okay, I'm getting the type error. Why? Because my A is integer and B is string. So the Python interpreter is confused. First, if I want to get rid of this type error, I have to either change the value of the B to int or A to the. Okay, if I am going to add like this, if I am adding over the colon here, it didn't give me the any error. It will print thus. Okay, I didn't print the print C. It will print one sum. Okay, now if I want to like that, so for that, if I don't want to get the type error, for that we have to use the typecasting method and change this value into int. Is it okay? Is it okay to you guys? The error or exceptional? So some of the error over here I have assigned. First is the syntax error. Now, this is the zero division error. In the Python programming, we are getting the zero division error. In our practical life, we are also not allowed to divide any number to the zero. Why? Because it will give you the infinity. We can divide zero with any number, but we are not able to define the number with the zero. Okay. So in the Python, it is also giving you the zero division error. For that, we are going to show a program in that we are using the exceptions handling. How we can rid of these errors by using our own functions. Over here, I have defined the A, which is 1, 2, 3. For the exceptional handling, whatever the exceptions we are getting, like index error, recursion, attribute import, key name, memory type, or these IO, keyboard interrupt value error, EOF, import error. So for that, we are using the exceptional handling. In that particular part, we are defining a class. In particular class, we are using some object and write a program, whole program. Over here, one one is the method of exceptional handling is try, except, and finally. We are using the finally also in the upcoming coding. So the for the first time, we are using the try. Try. What is saying that print second element. It will print the second element and print fourth element, A3, and accept print an error occurred. So it will execute this statement, this print statement, but throws error on this. So it will print the an error occurred. Why? Because it accepts some error. In that part, it will print this an error occurred. And why this error occurred? Because my A list is containing only the three element and it will access the fourth element of the list. So for the first printed statement, it will execute and print the value 2. And for the second, it will print the an error occurred. Guys, it is clear how you can get rid of this error by using the except and try method. Now I have defined a function over here. Define function A. If A, my A value, if my A value is less than 4, it will print B is equals to A divided by A minus 3. Okay, so for the A is equals to 3 value, it will give you the zero division error. And for A value greater than 4, it will give you the name error. Why it will give you the name error? Let's see. For the function 3, fun 3, it will give you the zero division error occurred. And for the fun 5, it didn't print anything. Okay, so zero division occurred and handled. Now I will show you how you can write your own exceptional handling programming. For that, you have to write like try. For example, if I'm showing you the program of A is equals to B and in that I have accept print some problem may have occurred. So it will print you the Try A is equals to 1, B is equals to some string, and in the C part, I'm assigning it A plus B. Okay. And then the in the except, why it is giving me try? Okay, I'm writing except. Except first I'm accepting the name error. I have defined this error and I will print the user have not defined. Swapna, my screen is not visible to you. Except generally the name error is what? It will show tell you have to make the variable is like same is or is similar. The user have not defined the variable. Try to make the similar data type control X similar data type. Okay, now I have to define over here except exception. It is exception try catch final throws throw. Yeah, 33. It has 33. Try and the try block A is equals to 1, B is S, C is nothing. Okay, now what is the error it is giving? Instead of giving the name error, we have to uh, give the error like that. Try to make the data type similar so that user can get the, or if we are assigning like B over here, if I am writing like int, not int, input, I'm taking the input and enter the value. Okay, same as for the A also. I'm taking the, so it will take the A and a B value from the user. So whenever the user give the input to them, for example, I have given the string for the A value, and for the B value, I am giving some numbers. So it will give me the error like you have to make the similar data type. After that, print. Okay, so it will give me the error like try to make the data type similar. By using this type of error, the user get to know what the mistake did by them to creating the program. Okay, so it will give you the same type of error. If I'm going to name error, I will print like over here, A is equals to, if A is equals to B, for example, like this, this, invalid data, it will give the difference. And for the A, I have defined the string. So I'm giving the value like this, this number. Oh no, I have assigned the A to the B value. So by helping of these, you can take the error like instead of giving the name error, you can give the user that you have to define the variable for type. Instead of giving the type error, you have give that you have to try to make the data type similar. Am I audible to you now? Okay. I am asking you that which type of concept it is. I have taught you the five types of OOPS concept. In that inheritance, it has some types also. So which type of concept it is? Class, I have defined a class over here, and in that object, I have creating something. And this error class, I am inheriting in the DOB exception. Poly. Okay. Guys, I want to answer from everybody, not a single answer. I want the answer from everybody. Abstraction, sir. Oh, wow. I want to know. This is the inheritance. Which type of inheritance it is? Which type of inheritance? In the inheritance part, there are five types of inheritance. Which type of? Multiple. No. Chandrasekhar? No, not it is a multiple. Single, multi-level. Yeah. This is the multi-level inheritance. Why? Because I am calling the exception class in the error and error class in the DOB exception. It is just like a grandfather, father, and son. DOB exception is a son which is calling the error, and error is just like a father who is calling his father exceptions. Okay, now I am going to show you how you can write a. For that, you have taken a year as a variable, and you can take the input from the user. Input, enter your year, year of birth. Okay, when I'm calling this, I have to assign the age, like age is equals to, I'm not considering after, I'm not considering anyone who is born before the 2000. So uh, I'm going to my year minus 2000 so that I'm getting the age. And now I'm comparing it in the try block. I'm comparing if my age is greater than is equals to 18 and age is less than 30. Print you are eligible to fill the form. Okay, else you are not able to fill the form. Else raise DOP exception. Exception. Now I have defined the except DOP exception and print and that you are not eligible for filling the form. So if I am writing like 1987, wait a minute, guys, is less than 30. My year, I'm not taking the values from the before the 2000. So this is not greater than 22. Okay. If I'm giving the 2017, 2019. So you are eligible to fill the form. If I am giving 1986, if I am giving the 1986 as a value, it will throw me the error. You are not eligible for filling the form. So this is the method by which you can create your own error. Okay. So it is just like a function. You have to use the try and accept function in that, and you can create your own. Okay. You all have to create a function similarly like this for the election. You know the age of election? After the age of 18, you are eligible for the vote. And before the 18, you are not eligible for the vote. So that for that you have to write a same program. I have given you this in the chat. Do the changes in this program and return me. What are the changes are you gonna to do in this particular program so that it is valid for I'm knowing that he or she must be given the vote rights. Guys, do it fast. Copy this code, write a code by copying it, and do the changes. In the print statement, you have to write you are valid for the vote, you are not valid for the vote. Just tell me the age comparison and the if condition for the valid of vote or not. Vote or not. Age, if age is greater than is equals to 18, you are valid for the, yeah, you have to write a K Krupanan, your code is right. Uh, Karthik, please give me the whole code. You can change like that. For example, over here, if I'm subtracting this 2022 minus, First of all, we have to know what is the age of a particular person. So, at present, we are going to minus from the 2022 and the year in which he or she will be born. So, for checking that, our age is greater than 18. If our age is greater than 18, so you are eligible to vote. You are not eligible for the vote. Okay. So, if I am running it. And now I'm going to assign like 2016. So it will give me you are not eligible for the vote. Uh, for second, if I'm going to assign like 2022 itself, okay, 2000, 2000 itself, you are eligible to vote. Is it clear to you guys? Is it code is clear to you? How you can create your own exceptional handling program? A little homework for you. In the ATM, when you are going for uh, taking cash from the ATM, if your balance is less than the enter amount, it will give you the error that your balance is not sufficient. So you have to think over it and write a program. Take an input from the user that how much amount you are going to take out from this ATM and what is your balance. You are going to take both the input from the user and then you have to compare it using the try and accept function. You have to write a code for that. Is it clear to you? You have to write a ATM function, a small ATM function, just like that. First, you have to take the input from the user for the balance and for withdrawing amount, the withdrawing amount and the balance. And if the withdrawing amount is less than balance, it will give no error. If my withdrawing amount is greater than balance, it will give me the error. So you have to write a program for that. Is it okay? Am I audible to you guys? Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, that is a homework. And that is a simple homework. You just have to think how you can write, and it is just like 7 or 8 lines of code. And I want the participation from the everyone. If you can do right now, most welcome. If you don't, then do it all at your home as a homework. Okay, Krupanand, if you are doing right now, it is very well. You can do and send me in the chat. Yeah. So we are using the try and accept statement from the catching exception. Try and accept statement are used to catch and handle the exception in the Python. So first is we have the two type of error. First is syntax, second is exception. In the syntax, the syntactical error we are getting. In the exception, exceptions are raised when the program is syntactically correct, but the code resulted in an error. This exception is happening when our code is syntactically correct, but the error is happening due to some error, just like name error, type error, key interrupt error. So these are happening because of the exception. Now, what is the function of try and how it try will execute? First, the try clause is executed, the code between try and accept clause. Okay. So whenever we are uh, running this, First, this program is going to be executed. This try, the code between the accept and try. This code is going to be executed. If it is getting error, it will give you the error. If it is not getting an error, it will print you the or give you the output as a you saw as you given in the program. If there is no exception, then only the try clause will run, except the clause is finished. If any exception occurs, means when you are going to run the code between the try and the accept, if it is going, if it is not accepting some occur error, it will only process the try part. And if the error occurs, it will accept the Python code also. If any exception occur, but the except clause within the code doesn't handle it, it is passed to the outer try statement. If the exception is left unhandled, then the execution stops. If this program is getting executed, this program is getting executed. If the else part is executing, so it will execute this statement, and after that, the try statement not gonna execute again. So this is the method by which the try works. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Why won't use instead of if elif else? We are using this try and except for generally giving not giving the error. Generally, we are using this exceptional handling so that a user get to know which type of error or which type of mistake he or she is done in the program so that it can be try if b is greater than suffice not have sufficient number. PM Chokalingam, your code is right. Guys, can you tell me which type of the on which real scenario we can use this try and accept method? On which real scenario? For example, just for the vote, we can use it. For the ATM condition, we can use it. Leaving these two, how many? Yeah, Divakar, your code is also right. If you don't have any doubt, you can leave the class.